P-Storm!
Welcome back to P-Storm. We are playing Danganronpa. We are just about to begin the third trial.
Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there...
Oh shit, there's two of them now.
He's multiplied?
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Can we just get on the elevator already?
You're not playing along.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay, fine. Then, if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Okay then, shall we? Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. Yeah, me neither, man.
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume, or the note? Well, no, but how unfortunate that it would seem we have our culprit. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom. She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin.
Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. Can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here.
Alright. Suppose let's talk to everyone. I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes.
Were you listening? Wait until we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear that the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time. The story begins when we get down there. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it.
I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move.
Zetai unme makushiraku. Zetai unme makushiraku.
The clocking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up to a cruel fate.
When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you.
Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? Do you really hate me that much? But I'm so cute.
Stop goofing around to begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I'll never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'm not like Sam over there behind the screen. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. Deadly judgment, deadly deception, deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, deadly faith, deadly class trial.
Yeah, I should probably save. Okay, first things first, let's set my skills. I have 7 skill points available. I think I got... Oh yeah, I only have 1 new skill, so let's equip it. It only costs 5 SP. Focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during non-stop debate, the Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle. Damn, I wonder who I got that from. Must have been Kyoko. Right, I think the skill I got from Celeste was a passive skill. Alright, let's do it.
The court is now in session for the trial of Yasuhiro Hagakure.
Let's it.
Thank you, can I talk now? Okay,
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with, we already know who did it. Was it?
it was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I'm sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have confidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assumed were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear.
Alright. I like what you've done with the courtroom, by the way, Monokuma. Okay, Yasuhiro's message.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy.
Okay, so let's see. Yasuhiro's message. This is the note that Yasuhiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall is all it says. Handwriting is remarkably neat and clear. Haha!
No, that's wrong. Are we sure Hiro really wrote those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare to the blueprints...
There's no way you would think the same person made both of them. Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting. No, the difference is bigger than that, I think. Come on, I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
He's not the only one. I think Hiro was innocent as well. You were the first one who blamed him, Byakuya.
What?
Then who was it in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Is there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
What?
And of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question. The one that must have been in the suit.
It might have been... Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been anyone else but Hiro, but that doesn't mean he's the killer.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
And there can be no doubt, Hiro's the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit. That's true. We never saw we never saw Robo-Justice kill anyone. So what you're saying is... That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes? Of course, but before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first, so let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order. So what is it? What needs to be clarified? We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Yeah, that was the dolly.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been...
The dolly?
Still one more thing.
Blue tarp!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? And what's with that attitude? Okay, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. When we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. When the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive that the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along and you simply didn't realize it? She's raised an objection. How do you respond? There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you, anyway. We've all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what's going on around you.
Wow. I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository.
Oh. Bullet time battle, what the hell? It's a little early to be having a bullet time battle, don't you think? It's about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the right mouse button and left mouse buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Why's there a bullet time battle this early in the trial? Bro, this is fucking dope.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with the tire mark in it that hatched the dolly's that matched the dolly wheel's tread. Let me try that sentence again in a way that makes sense. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with the tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. As the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. 'Cause if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters. I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it'll become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that?
Okay. The Robo Justice costume. No one but Yasuhiro could possibly fit into this costume. In addition, anyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist more than 90 degrees. There it is. Just gotta wait for someone to mention. Yes, yes. Wrong.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking on the suit together, remember? When you were in that suit, not only could you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over. Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? Do you think someone could kick the dolly that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself. On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you'd have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp. Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance the costume was taken off to move the body because...
Yeah, he couldn't have taken it off by himself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in that suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect him.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct? No, wait, just a second if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image was of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice. If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside that suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second. It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle. Perhaps, but where do we go from here? Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
Alright then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we should start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall, Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room, and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I knew it was an hour before because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and uncovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
And then... At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead, and that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. When the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had arrived after us. She told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we had discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing dead bodies. And after some time, Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies. We were all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses. Hold up. Gotta wipe my nose. Fucking spring, man. I hate it.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what.
Alright, let's just take a moment to review Monokuma file number 3.
Justice hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
There we go. See, I knew what to do, I just couldn't get the timing right.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. Something that relates to what time he must have died.
Oh, the watch. Alright, I already know what I gotta do here. Okay, W. Okay, so I'm looking for an I. Come on, give me an I. Give me an I. That's a T. I need an I. Yeah. Now give me an S. What? No. Okay, now I just need... Yes. Now I just need an H. Yes!
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 7 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer because of last night. That's true, that's true. Taka died at 6 a.m., whereas Hifumi died at around like 8-ish. Like 8 or 9-ish. Either way, he died several hours after Taka. So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be the official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened at around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly what the culprit wrote. That's exactly why the culprit wrote numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption. Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up at the dining hall yet. That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together, except for Hiro and Kyoko. We all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where he found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know. They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time. Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then. Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared. Besides, I don't know either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time.
Oh man, yeah. There's no way. It'd be impossible. Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself. That's what I was telling you before!
Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No, not another ghost! I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead. It isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible?
Yeah, let's take a look at what the description for Taka's watch says. Yeah, I think I have to do another flashback here. Ah, that was wrong. It's like, I know what happened, I just don't know which weak spot to hit with which truth bullet. That was wrong as well.
Sure, the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Alright, I'm pretty sure I have to flashback that first statement. What? Alright. Hang on one sec. Time to do some intense brainstorming. Okay, so I figured it out. I had it backwards. I had to absorb the, I had to flashback the statement about someone else's body. Yeah. Have to use that one.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe, but that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body when we heard that announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements. Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one. What do you mean, Monokuma? Or what do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
Yeah. Keywords. For the first time. That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum. No, actually. That was plenty. Huh? He said it was only broadcast when a body's discovered for the first time. You and I is on the same level, Byakuya. We speak in the same lingo. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on? Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. The second body discovery announcement. The first time I played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when... We heard it a second time in the repository when we discovered the 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's another thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know. Because he was super good at playing dead. Bada bing, bada boom. That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive. Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was actually alive or not. The whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone.
Hifumi's glasses. That's the key. Oh, fuck. There was a very noticeable difference, bitch.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of his in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. When we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. The evidence I found in the nurse's office was... It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. The only people here who wear glasses are... I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that. A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
That's bad for your glasses.
You gotta use cloth, or else you get scratches all over your glasses. Take it from me, a glasses wearer of like 15 years.
And then there's no question that belonged to Hifumi.
So, what you're saying is, what exactly?
What I'm saying is the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that's true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point. Then it must have been him, right? So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead, and when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
It was one of the blood bags in the fridge.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was...
Shit, dude, I think it might have been Hifumi.
Could have only been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body. Man, this is the last thing I'll ever get to blame Hifumi for. Can I get an F in the non-existent chat, please? Can I get an F in the comments? There we go. F in the comments if you watched the video.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. When we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there. He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi's body wasn't just another victim in this case. Or, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants. But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement is yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be?
The note.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants. It was covered in shit.
What? In his...
Pants? Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at the shit. Found a hole that maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Oh, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Wait a sec. This one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. And this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants?
That's right, Taka. Killer used this note to draw up Taka and murder him.
Hello, over here. Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok. They were drawing out Huffy. Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Yes. Why must you ruin it every time? I don't know. Hifumi seemed more like a Vine kind of guy to me. It's like... As much shit as I talk about Hifumi, he was a man of culture when he needed to be.
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. I'm just gonna creep.
Alright, so first off... shit. What are my three? Okay, Hifumi's glasses, the broken wristwatch, and the glasses cleaning cloth. Alright, so what are we trying to, I was too busy thinking about Vine. F in the comments for Vine, but, so what was it? Hifumi's glasses, the broken wristwatch, and... Wait a minute. The broken wristwatch. 6 a.m. Fuck. Fuck you, Genocide Jackass.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. There's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So Taka was murdered at both the time and place written on this note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections. Then someone used that note to trick Taka just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they just found a way out. But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less. Probably needed something to clean all the shit out.
Most likely Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small piece of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from. I knew it. It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yep, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasps a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it. Taka died clutching that note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right? That means Hifumi knew the note was important. Exactly, which proves he was an accomplice in the murder. Whoa! Yeah, after seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did it as the mastermind, the true killer. He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body. So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository. During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too, but there's something that's been bothering me even more. And what might that be? The weapon they used to kill Hifumi. The weapon? Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, them having similar fractures and all. But just as Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around at the nurse's office in the equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, and then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him? I'm surprised. Seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around in that skull of yours after all. Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight. He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around in the other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on one of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. I don't think either one's big enough to kill someone.
Is it not possible they used different weapons? I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right? So then what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. But man, this recording's been going on for like an hour, so I should probably start a new recording or something. Be right back.
Danganronpa.